Hey, I'm Djemini.
I'm Spitt.
And we are going to be breaking down how we made our track, Flaunt. This was really cool because this was our very first song together. We talked about making music together at some point. Finally, we got a session and kind of just stepped in without any idea of what we wanted to make. We just had some kind of loose references and we'd listened to stuff that we've both made.
Yeah, I remember making a collaborative playlist on Spotify of just R&B shit.
Yeah.
Some Leon, some Jordan Ward, some... What else? Some other shit.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of like underground R&B stuff that we liked. That kind of bridged the gap between modern poppy R&B and then like very experimental. It was kind of a nice in between.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of fun to be able to experiment with that and see what we gravitated to the most. And if my memory serves me correctly, we just started with an acoustic guitar on this, right?
Pretty sure, yeah. This one right here.
Yeah.
Lead AC guitar 1.
We just built it on that. That felt like a really good groove that we could get into.
Pretty sure we started building some drums, and I remember you laid down that nice bass line too. I think we started with the kick probably. Yeah. That's where I usually start.
Right.
Then a nice rim. I've listened to a lot of your stuff and you always have a nice shaker, so I remember adding this shaker in there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Great texture.
And then a nice hi-hat with some pitch.
Let's listen to all these without the guitar.
Sick.
Just hear the drums.
Tight. And then this open hat.
Oh yeah.
And that pretty much holds it down for most of it. We created some slight changes, I think.
Yeah.
High pass filter here. Obviously some drum breaks. And then where's that fill? I want to highlight that fill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love that one. I forget where I got that. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
That shit.
That's madness. I think we did the electric guitar first.
Really?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we were building on that initial, but let's play it. I can't really remember.
The electrics.
After the acoustic.
I remember we definitely added some little spice here and there, and then in the chorus we had some electric for sure. Which one do you want to hear?
Oh, let's hear the chorus one.
That one's nice.
Yeah, that's money.
And then we have a little bit of stereo guitar in the post-chorus. Mixed with the lead.
So yeah, before we dive into the bass, what was really cool about this bass line that I will be proud of for a long time is I've never really played bass. I've always wanted to. Dabbled a little bit a couple years ago, but I've learned a lot more about the guitar over the last 2 years. And so it was great when we were building this beat. Spitt was just like, yo, lay this bass line down while I tighten up these drums. And I just was like, bro, I don't really play bass. And I don't remember exactly what you said, but
something like it's the same as a guitar, bro.
And so I was kind of like, I was really nervous about it, but I just started playing kind of just some basic pentatonic thing that I might play on the guitar. It was really fun to then see that come to life because I'm just kind of noodling around.
Yeah.
And then he looks around and is kind of just like, you want to lay that down?
Bro, that's kind of hard.
Yeah. So.
And you got the slide and everything. that's what kind of led the vocals as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that melody really allowed me to think about how I want to flow on the song, especially for the hook. As I was writing that, I want you right next to me, that just fits so perfectly in that pocket, and we had a lot of fun. That is really like the core of the song, is the acoustic, the bass, those electric guitar little sauce elements, and obviously then the drums. There's a whole bunch of other little textural things that we'll dive into here.
Oh, but the wubs.
That's a fun thing to talk about.
Wubs.
The wubs. So that was something that going into all of what we made together that I really wanted to bring was some of the more experimental stuff that I'd heard Spitt do, that I was like, man, if we could merge those two worlds, it would be really fun to be able to keep people on their toes. That's my goal through the year, is to be able to create, constantly be creating different sonic pockets for myself to get into, but also for people to enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
And I think we did a really good job of merging those two, and this was like a very more experimental EDM type of derivative thing then when you started playing around with this, I was just like, yeah, man, we need to do more of that.
It was really nice mixing that super organic acoustic guitar with the then like weird synthy, like electronic whoop whoop whoop. This is what it sounds like. Obviously with a bunch of delay and reverb.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So let's unpack all the other synths then that we had.
Cool.
I think we were talking about it right before we started rolling, but this is one of the simpler songs. I mean, you could zoom out and see like a lot of it is vocal stacks.
Right.
And all the orange is drums.
We got some bass in dark red here.
Yep.
Some guitars in green, and keys and synths in purple and in pink.
Yeah. Let's dive into the keys and Rhodes.
Cool. Yeah. Rhodes patch on the vital, and then we later it with an organ sound. Pop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that little staccato moment. Yeah,
together, and then they kind of play off of each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Call and response.
It's great, man.
And in the chorus, we get to, we just add a little pad here. Love this pad.
Oh yeah, I brightened it up and gave it a whole new feeling.
Yeah, just kind of gave it some depth. That with the wubs. And the Rhodes, a lot of movement. Oh, I guess we had some acoustic in here too. More of that polarity.
Yeah. A little simpler version though.
Yeah. Can't forget about the electric guitar.
Beautiful. Let's pull up the effects we have on that electric, because that's really...
We've got a guitar rig here. I think this is actually a preset that we just messed with. Apparently it has 2 reverbs. That's cool. Channel EQ, we've got the Abbey Roads for some saturation, boosting a little bit of the 2K, some of that clarity, then lots of effects. We've got spring reverb, we have Pro R reverb, we have an H delay with a magma springs. I love that. The delay going into a reverb just makes it sound way better. Here, I'll solo that really quick.
Oh yeah.
Without the reverb, it just sounds kind of dry. And then it looks like, I've got this mono bus just for iPhone iPhone clarity. It just it's just super, super compressed right down the middle.
Oh yeah, nice.
I kind of put all the super stereo elements into it, so it just gives it. So when you listen on like a phone or a JBL or some shit, that you still get all the background vocals and reverbs and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's really everything instrumentally. It's a relatively simple track. I think it's just tasteful in the way in which we change certain elements as they go, like the acoustic changes slightly throughout the song, and then there are certain moments where we pull things, and during those breaks, I think that break where it's just a little acoustic was something that just gives a lot of these certain moments their time to shine.
Yeah, little breaks, little automations, pulling out some high end on the pre-chorus and the lead acoustic, and just little things like that to help things shine, you know.
For sure.
Everything's a little bit louder on the chorus. I've got this parallel on the bass that only comes in the chorus, just gives it some top end. Little things like that just help it pop, and
I love it, man.
And have its moment, you know.
Yeah, I think now we just dive into vocals then.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds great. For this one, I remember for each song we sort of recorded a guide track. We just did the whole song through once just to have sort of a guide of what we wanted the actual lead to be like.
Tell me everything I wanna hear. Oh baby, you got me falling back in love again. Girl, maybe I'll take you higher than you ever been. So crazy, the way you kiss me sparks a fire. It's so I swim in your eyes, cause they're blue like the ocean. Slide up inside and you drink your love potion. You say that it's mine, I was there for devotion.
I mean, we really only comped it in if you needed to take a breath, or if the lines overlapped, or
if you want to collapse the lead even, we could just see that all together in one, and then go over maybe what we have on the lead, because a lot of people are interested to probably hear the sound and feeling of that, because I love the presence and overall feeling of that.
The plugins,
Yeah. I think it's just cool to see that everybody, you know, does little different things on my lead that make it shine. So
interesting.
I love what you did on this. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we started off with Crispy Tuner by Brainworks. Shout out, what is this? Plugin Alliance, I think. And then a little bit of de-essing. I like to do the de-essing before any other processing, just to get it out of the way. We did some Pro Q, some funky stuff here. We had a little bit of sibilance that I had to take care of, so I used dynamic bands, and same with the low end. I really like controlling the low end because it helps with the presence of the vocal overall. And I also remember with this track, I definitely did some specific automations to get certain lines right with gain, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Because some of them were too close, some of them were too far, so I just had to do little tweaks and stuff.
Nice.
That doesn't include plugins. And then the LA3A, I really like the sound of this plugin over the 2A. This is really nerdy, but the LA2A has kind of like a 2K. For some reason, it feels like it boosts that too much, and it makes the vocals sound kind of harsh, so I really like the LA3A.
Cool.
It's just my preference.
Yeah, that's right. That's
so
cool.
For some compression, and then I always use the C4 for multi-band compression, again just to get the control the lows in your voice. And again, because we did a lot of comping in this, so sometimes you were a little bit closer to the mic, sometimes you were a little bit farther, so this just helps with the proximity effect, I guess. Some classic Pultec EQ, vintage, you can call it analog warmth if you want. I'm just doing the classic trick where you boost and attenuate at the same frequency, and then do the same thing with the well, I guess I'm not quite doing the same thing, but almost the same thing with the high end, adding some top end, cutting some top end at the same time. Saturation, classic Saturn. Love this plugin just for the final little EQ, because when I was listening to the whole track, I just felt like it had a little too much of this. So I just cut some out, and that was it. Oh, I guess I also have a parallel. I do this with almost all of my vocals in general, where I just send a copy of this channel with all the plugins on it, send it to a 76, and I just smash the fuck out of it. So I put the all mode in, which if you know, you smash all the buttons at the same time, creates all, and Waves made the all button. And then, you just really smash it. It's not a sound that you would ever put on a clean vocal, but yeah.
And I want you right next to me, girl, you got all that I want, and baby, you can try.
And then after that, just a little bit more saturation, some tape emulation, and that mixed with the lead vocal just sounds really present and clean.
And I want you right next to me, girl, you got all that I want, and baby, you can try, but it never stops, so girl, no, I can't lie, yeah, I wanna flaunt you.
And then for reverbs, we've got a Pro R, and I'm side chaining it to the lead vocal, so it ducks out of the way when the lead vocal's in, and then comes back up whenever you stop singing. I've got my parallel, I have a delay throw, that's actually got a lot going on, but we don't even need to go into that.
Yeah.
But delay throws, just extends certain phrases, and
beautiful.
And then a little bit of widening for the chorus.
And I want you right next to me, girl, you got all that I want, and baby, you can try, but it never stops, so girl, no, I can't lie, yeah, I wanna flaunt you.
Yeah. Sweet, man. Let's dive into these harms then.
All right, cool.
Quickly before we go in there, it's fun this year working with such a variety of people because everybody has different ways of recording an artist.
Right.
And I think what I just appreciated about what we did is you really opened the space for me to be really expressive.
Cool.
And I think that's why this lead and everything I'm singing about, it has this different kind of, I don't know how to say it without saying it myself, but like it has this different kind of swagger that I feel like I'm carrying that I haven't carried on songs before this one.
It really does, bro.
And so like even the little things like at the end, like I want you like that feeling, right? It's different, and so I just appreciate you for like creating that space and then allowing it to be so quick with it.
Totally.
The efficiency of how we did it allowed all of this to come to light so quickly. Because other than the thing that we re-recorded last week, all of this was recorded that night.
Yeah.
When we first made it.
It was like a 6-hour session, and we had everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So
all the
let's
harmonies, everything.
Yeah. Let's dive into these harms, and maybe we kind of go one by one and build it up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll start with the verse, I suppose.
Sure.
Everything I wanna hear,
I love these. They're very Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
I'll never beat the allegations. And I don't intend to.
Don't need to, bro.
No.
These are great. We spiced them in for the verses, and then we made the choruses obviously a little more solid. But we started low harmonies, added in the high ones, which are just sick. Hard pans.
Yeah.
Easy.
Money.
Go maybe,
Those are expressive.
so crazy,
Love those.
so hazy.
So
That's the way that the so crazy goes up like that. That kind of differentiates it from the other lines.
So crazy,
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
girl, you got all that I want.
Over here we got the same thing. We got lows.
Girl, you got all that I want, baby.
We got mids.
You got all that I want, baby. You can try, but it never stops. I can't lie, but I wanna.
And then Djemini's got his fucking highs that we're about to solo.
Girl, you got all that I want. You can try, it never stops. I can't lie, yeah, I wanna fly you.
Yeah.
Crazy. I forgot about those. That's awesome. But that does create this full feeling in the chorus that
totally.
wouldn't be the same without those.
You got all that I want, baby. You can try, but it never stops. I can't lie, yeah, I wanna fly you.
Let's hear that all with the lead now.
Girl, you got all that I want, and baby, you can try, but it never stops. So girl, no, I can't lie, yeah, I wanna fly you.
Crazy.
And I want you right next to me, girl, you got.
Yeah. Just came together awesome. And then same thing, I've got a parallel with the same shit, smashing it. And then I have a mono channel because I'm panning them so hard. Again, on an iPhone or JBL, they just get lost. So gotta make it in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And I think that's really the bulk of the song. Now we've gone over instrumental and harmonies, so we'll just go to the end and some of the cool experimental bits in this outro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We didn't touch on it either, but we have the next to me chop pitch down situation in the middle of the song during that instrumental break. So maybe we start there and we talk about that and then go back to the outro.
I mean, we did feel like it was important for this song to sort of break up the, I mean, it's a pretty high energy song, so we felt like breaking up the energy felt good.
I want you right next to me.
We spaced it out.
With the wubs.
Yeah, wubs, reverb on the kick, which the internet would sacrifice me for.
The mommies!
What the fuck? We forgot about the mommies.
How could we?
Let's dive into the mommies.
Yeah, and the reverse guitar. You know, it's not a Djemini song without a reverse guitar riser, so Spitt learned that very quickly, and we have one in every song, so... There it is.
And the mommies.
Crazy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, overall, man, I'm so proud of this track. It's really beautiful to have in the midst of everything that we made. I think it's a really grounding point. It feels like it's so familiar to my sound and my style, and like something that people would expect, with all of these other unexpected elements that make it its own thing, and that also bring these elements of what you and I do that's unique from what any other duo that I've done is. And so I think that it's just fun to be able to reflect on that and to see how this all came together, and how, like you said, it was a 6-hour session from start to finish, and we had all of this. And so at that point I knew, before that night I was like, I hope that we'll be able to do a group of 4, and what that workflow is going to be like, I don't know. But then after that night I was like, oh no, we're going to make an excellent group of 4.
It was just 4 sessions basically. We had 4 songs.
Yeah. So I'm super proud of that. Is there are there thoughts before we dive in or close on the song in general and how you feel about it?
The only other thing I can think of is the little vocoder.
Oh yeah.
This guy, this mommy.
This mommy. Oh yeah.
On top of this.
Crazy.
Yeah, that one's sweet. It's just a vocoder, and it's panning back and forth with some classic brower motion.
Sweet.
That's about it.
Yeah, man.
But it really adds.
Any thoughts on like the track in general and kind of where we took it as we close out here?
This one just felt really, really easy. Just came together really, really quickly. And I think our playlist honestly helped a lot. We sort of had like an upbeat like R&B vibe planned. So I think that helped a little bit, but ultimately it's just our energy coming together and making something super sick.
Big time. I'm so stoked with this. So glad that you guys get to hear it as well. And yeah, that's it. I'm Djemini.
Spitt.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Peace.